She stood there again, in her pink tank top, hands on hips, yelling across my yard like she owned the whole neighborhood. "You can't store that firewood here. HOA policy!" she screamed. I didn't even bother replying this time, because I already knew her pattern. Every night, a few logs would go missing from my neatly stacked pile. I installed cameras, and there she was, Karen, sneaking over with a flashlight, loading my wood into her wheelbarrow like it was her birthright. She wasn't just a nosy neighbor. She was the self-declared president of our HOA, even though the real HOA disbanded 3 years ago. She forged letters, fined people, and acted like she ran the whole block. The cops had shown up twice before because of her fake complaints, noise violations, illegal bonfires, even unsafe wood stacking. But this time she crossed the line. That woodpile wasn't for decoration. It was my winter heat. I decided if she wanted to keep stealing it, she'd get something extra. So I spent the next weekend crafting something special. Hollow logs, packed with fine black powder and a remote ignition core. They looked identical to the rest of the pile. I smiled as I slid them right on top. The next night, my cameras caught her again. Same hoodie, same sneaky walk. She grabbed a few logs and wheeled them home completely unaware. I waited. Hours later, a sudden flash lit up the night sky. Boom! A blast echoed through the cul-de-sac. My phone buzzed with notifications, neighbors posting videos, people shouting outside. And when I looked at the footage, Karen was standing in her yard, covered head to toe in soot, hair frizzed up like she'd stuck her head in a furnace. The logs had gone off the moment she tried to toss one into her fireplace. I didn't even have to say a word. The whole neighborhood knew. One of the comments under the video summed it up perfectly. That's what happens when karma comes packed in a log. Her reign of fake HOA power had just exploded, literally. The whole street gathered outside. Karen's house as smoke curled up from her backyard. Sirens wailed in the distance, and soon 2 fire trucks and a police cruiser rolled in. Karen stood there, still blackened, screaming at the top of her lungs. "He tried to kill me! He planted a bomb!" The officer glanced at me across the yard. I was standing quietly on my porch, hands in my pockets, watching the chaos unfold. When the cop approached, I calmly handed him my phone. "You might want to see this before you listen to her," I said, showing him the footage, Karen sneaking into my property, taking the wood, laughing as she wheeled it away. The officer's face changed instantly. "So, she stole your firewood?" "Every week," I said. "Guess she finally found the wrong pile." Karen tried to jump in. "He's lying. He's setting me up. He's dangerous." But the officer just sighed. "Ma'am, this footage shows you trespassing on his property multiple times." That's when her husband walked out.